Welcome back to another episode of Catching Up with Corrin. I'm your host, Corrin Davis, and today I am joined by three-time NJCAA national champion, NJCAA Hall of Famer, and now WT's head volleyball coach, Terry Gamble. Terry, welcome.
Thanks. I love being here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. How have the last couple of months been? How has the Texas Panhandle treated you since you've been here?
It's treated me great. I'm trying to get used to the weather and the snakes and all that kind of stuff. I had a 4-foot snake in my yard 2 days ago. Yeah.
That's very welcoming.
Yeah, but no, it's been great. The people here have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, the whole community of Amarillo and Canyon, and of course, WT's been great to me. So yeah, it's great to be here.
They always say you'd never meet a stranger here.
And that's true.
Everywhere.
You know, it's my wife said it best. Every place she goes, she just is commenting on how great the people are. So it's really cool.
And we actually just realized how small of a world it is. Your daughter, Christy Rigsby, formerly Christy Gamble, coached me during club volleyball season growing up. So that was a neat connection.
Yeah, it was really cool. When I was telling her, you know, that I was coming to do this with you, she was like, oh my gosh, she was so excited. Aww. And then she spoke volumes of you. So, I mean, she absolutely loved coaching you. So that's really cool.
Well, I've heard rave reviews about you too, even well before I met you and got connected with you as well. It was announced at the beginning of February that you were taking the head coaching job, and then you got here at the end of February.
Yes.
So you had a little, not the entire off season, but a little bit of off season to build rapport with the players, set a solid foundation of expectations, standards, and show the girls how you operate on a day-to-day basis. What were those off-season days like, and getting to connect with the girls?
Well, it was great, number one, to be able to come in and do that. I think the standards of you having played there, Kendra, Brittany, you know, the coaching all the way back to Tony, it's a place where the people have great expectations for volleyball. The tradition is great for volleyball. So that was exciting to come into. But the best thing of all, I had zero pushback from any of the players. When I came in and started setting my expectations for them, everybody was on board. Everybody was excited about it.
Good.
And so it made it really easy, where I thought, okay, the new person's coming in, you know, that kind of person. But it's not. It's like I told them at the end of spring, it was like my team for a long time, so it's really a good thing.
And you made a very interesting comment in your first press conference here that WT is the only place in the entire country that you would ever take and go to leave your 7-season stint at Blinn. I mean, what was the attraction initially when the job position came open?
Well, the two big things, and that's true because I had some D1 offers that I turned down, but the biggest attraction, I have 2 of my 3 kids and 6 of my 8 grandkids are here. So that was a big attraction. And then WT. I mean, everybody knows WT and everybody knows WT volleyball. And I have a chance to, at Blinn, we had it rolling. We were at the national championships the last 5 years. And every year we had a chance to win a national championship. And I truly believe we have that opportunity to do it here. So that was a big attraction too.
Was your family excited when they found out? They were like, Grandpa, Dad, we're coming back.
Well, when it was said, my daughter Christy I told the grandkids via FaceTime, and everybody was excited because they knew there was a chance, and so and that's been great. So my wife and I have kind of dove into the community and done a lot of things, and the area is beautiful. The weather's crazy.
The weather is crazy. It'll keep you on your toes.
But the area is beautiful, and we love it.
Was there any hesitation when you were offered the job, or even made aware that the job position was open?
No, not really. Because of family. I mean, it's one of those, I get to experience this now with my kids. We went to lunch yesterday, and my daughter goes, you know what, we get to spend Father's Day with you this year.
That's awesome.
And so that was pretty cool. And, you know, I've gotten to play a lot of golf with my son. And so, no, I tell people it was the easiest personal move, the hardest professional move, because Blinn treated me so good. And I mean, I thought I'd retire there, but here I am.
Here we are, and there's nothing better than having the support of family, even in the grind of season, because sometimes you don't feel like a person, you don't stop, it's just go, go, go until December.
Yeah, so. and you know, being a college athlete, Being a coach, we're always on the go. I mean, I'm very blessed that my wife understands it because, you know, I'm not losing stinks. And then the recruiting, so it's the recruiting years just all the time. So it's one of those things that I'm really looking forward to. I get to share it with my family, and the community here is just so involved. I get to share it with them. So I'm so excited for that.
You also had a chance to talk with Kendra Potts, who is a legend in her own right, both as a coach and as a player at WT. What were those conversations like, and the hiring process when she was telling you the ins and the outs of the program? Did she give you any advice or insight?
She gave me a lot of advice. Actually, I've known Kendra for a long time. She's recruited my players when I was at Blinn. She talked a lot about the community. She talked a lot about the traditions of WT. Gave me some insights of how to recruit to this area.
Yeah.
So I relied on her a lot. After I got the job, Casey, who was her assistant coach,
Love Casey.
Oh my God, Casey's great. He's a mess now, but he's great people. But no, I relied on her a lot and just asking questions and that kind of thing.
And I know it was important to hear, not only for the players, but Buff Faithful as well, that you plan to keep the WT volleyball traditions intact, but also add your own flair to it, which I'm glad you're adding your own flair to it because it's a very successful flair. But you know, you look at the big picture, and this program has had 3 head coaches in 3 years.
Yeah.
So what does a Terry Gamble WT volleyball team look like? What will we see come August, September, and so forth?
Well, we're going to be a big part of the community. I think that's really, really important. Wherever I've been, my program has been that. We're going to be great in the classroom. And those are traditions that WT has had, that all the coaches have established, and I would not want to change those. I think those are really pretty important, or really important, I should say, to our program. But when we step on the court, wins and losses, we are going to play hard, and we're going to do it the right way. And that's the only way I know how to do it. We're going to have expectations of championships. We're going to have expectations of how we carry ourselves representing the school and, you know, the community and that kind of thing. And I think, you know, if we do what we've done in the past, I think our product will be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it, and I know a lot of people are. I'm going to read this list to you. It's a shorter list. There are plenty more accomplishments on this list, but NJCAA Volleyball National Champion ×3, NJCAA Coach of the Year ×3, Regional Coach of the Year ×3, NJCAA Hall of Famer, Port Huron Sports Hall of Famer, Iowa Western Sports Hall of Famer, and 3rd coach in NJCAA history to reach 1,000 career wins. I think we're all wondering, what's the big question? What's the key to this success, the key ingredient? I think we all want to apply it to our own lives. I mean, come on. This list, I was reading through and I was going, the resume is elite and unprecedented. Not very many people can accomplish what you have on this list. So what's been the key?
I think I've been blessed with great assistant coaches, getting lucky at times, right, and great players. I think, you know, I'm not the person to think that I've done all this great stuff. I mean, the nice thing about WT right now as I sit here is I'm undefeated. I have 0 wins and 0 losses. So, I mean,
I like that mindset. There you go.
So that's the nice thing. You know, we'll see after the first loss how everybody feels. But I just think that I'd like to think it's hard work by myself, my coaching staff, and my players on buying into what I've done, you know. Not what I've done, what we've done in the gym and that kind of thing. And one of the biggest compliments that I got, one of my players this morning was one of my incoming players who I did not recruit. She was recruited by the previous staff. Her and her mom came into my office. There's my Michigan accent, by the way. The mom,
there you go. You're going to get used to our Texas twang.
I do say y'all.
I do say that. There we go.
But they came in the office today, and it was the first time I really got to meet her and see her in person.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I said, so what have you heard? What can I help you with? She goes, well, I've asked some players that you have coached at, you know, at Blinn and stuff, and they say he's really tough, but they all love you. So, you know, so I guess that's a big compliment.
Yeah.
You know, so I think hard work, and if I can instill that with my players here and my coaching staff will be fine.
Yeah, and I can already tell you are incredible at building relationships, and you genuinely care about your players,
Yeah.
which I know goes a long way, and they respect you even more when you are having to discipline them and get them going in practice or in games.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, right? They got to know you care. You can be hard or you can be easy, whatever style of coach you are. You've played for a lot of them. And Kendra, who I love and I'm good friends with, she could get after it pretty good, but everybody loved Kendra. And I think that's one of the things that is the most important to me, that my players, I want them at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, to want to go through a wall for me and play hard for me, and then respect me enough to invite me to their wedding.
I like that.
Those are the things that, when it's all said and done, it's not about just volleyball, which that's why I get paid.
Yeah.
But I get paid because of those young people. And the biggest thing is just caring about them.
Wow. I love that. And speaking of players, speaking of recruiting, the last time we heard from you, you felt behind on the recruiting scale, but you said, we hit it hard there, we're aggressive there, now we're in June, a couple months out from season. Where are you at in that process?
Well, we just finished the 25 class, which we're really excited about. We got great players coming back. I mean, we got 3-time All-American, Tatum Stowe. We got Emma Becker coming back. Curry's coming back, who's a local player. I love, I love these kids. KC, like I said earlier when we were talking, there's been no pushback. They have all just kind of jumped in, which is so great. But then I'm bringing in 2 of my Berlin players. One was an All-American this year. One is a 6-foot, you'll appreciate this, a 6'1" setter.
Woohoo! Is she going to be a front row setter? We like that.
Yeah, I'm a 5'1" guy. I don't run a 6'2" a lot, and nothing against the 6'2".
Yeah.
I prefer one quarterback or one setter.
I hear you. It's easier for the hitters to be able to connect.
Yeah, and I only have to yell at one player then when you're setting. So it's been fun bringing them in, and the cool thing about here that every kid we've had on campus has committed to us.
Wow.
So that speaks.
And how many is that?
We got 6 coming in right now.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so
Very
we're
incredible.
excited about all of them. We're excited about the ones that Brittany recruited. So it should be, it'll be interesting to have that many on the roster, but it'll be learning for everybody. And, we got great leadership. My God, the leadership on our team is so good with our seniors to be that, I'll just leave it in their hands and kind of let them do their thing.
I like it. You mentioned Curry, a local kid, and you mentioned how important it is for you to keep local kids who know how to win here at WT. You know a lot of the high school coaches here. What will that recruiting process look like with the local girls as
That'd
well?
be first and foremost.
Okay.
I mean, we want to get local kids first and foremost. I think that's really important. I think it's good for our program. It's good for the community. It's good for the crowd. So we've already started the process for the 26 class, the 27 class, and we started local. That's where we want to begin at and then expand from there. And we want to recruit the kids that can keep us at a championship level. I mean, I like rings, so.
Hey, we all like to see those rings coming in.
Absolutely.
We like to see those coming in. The summer, what will that look like with the girls? Will they be here? Is that the expectation to be in summer workouts? Do you want them to go get away from the sport for a little bit and then come back? What are the expectations there?
I think it's a little bit of both. We have the NCAA rules that we have to follow. Would I like them in the gym every day? Yeah, I'd love to be around them every day, but we obviously can't do that. So some of them will go home and recoup that way. Others have already gotten back at it, We have players that want to come in early. We can't work with them in the summertime, so that's just, we're kind of hands off on that. But they'll get after it. They better get after it.
A warning, a pre-warning here.
Here's one of our expectations is to make, if you're at WT as a volleyball player, the expectation is you better be ready come August.
Absolutely.
As you well know.
Absolutely. And
you
is the conditioning sideline 17s? Because that's what Kendra had us doing, sideline 17s.
Yeah, I won't scare them that way.
Okay,
We have stuff like that.
We'll
yeah.
keep the surprise factor for August.
Absolutely.
Now, have any of the girls told you about the Angelo State rivalry, that there is no blue and yellow combos anywhere in the gym?
Yeah,
except maybe like a dummy, and you have hitting lines with the dummy out.
Yeah, I've heard about that. And here's the funny thing: Chuck, who's the head coach there, has recruited my players.
Wow.
So I'm friends with Chuck, and my one assistant Bailey played at Angelo State.
I know, full 360 for her too.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because you wouldn't notice it. If you talk to her, because she is all about maroon and white.
We like to hear that.
Yes. But no, I've heard about that thing. So.
Yes, yeah. The Angelo State rivalry is very big. I know everybody gets excited when they come into town.
And they're coming twice this year.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Speaking of the box, how are you liking the no AC? Have you adjusted to that at the box?
I love the box.
You love the box.
Now. It hasn't hit the summertime yet.
Right.
So I cannot
true
speak,
summertime.
Yes, true. So I cannot speak for that, but I love the box, and I've heard about the atmosphere, and I've watched games from last year's team to kind of get an idea of the players, and the atmosphere I'm so excited to be a part of that atmosphere there. Yeah, let's talk when it comes to August, and then we can talk about how hot it is in there, but I've heard stories.
I'm going to leave that surprise factor as well for you. Because
yeah, we're going to talk at that time.
Okay, we'll be in conversation about it. But yes, the box does get rocking, especially for WT Volleyball. I remember a few years ago when they hosted the regional championship, and that was the most crowded I had ever seen it personally. So it gets rocking with Buff Faithful.
I'm looking so forward to that.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the impact you are going to make on WT Volleyball and what's to come for this program.
Well, I'm going to be calling you and asking about you. I mean, you're an alumni,
sure,
right? So
sure,
I'm going to pick your brain.
Oh,
and
I appreciate
now that I know that you played for my daughter, that's even a bigger bonus.
I know, very cool.
But no, I expect you out there, hopefully, at a lot of games and maybe even doing some stuff with us. But
absolutely,
I want the alumni back. I like that family feel, and that's what I want with our program.
Absolutely. Well, that's WT through and through. Terry, thank you so much for joining me today. It was awesome getting to know you, getting to talk with you, learn about what's to come for WT Volleyball. So I'm excited.
Well, thank you. I have a connection now to WT here. So when my daughter told me that, it made me more excited to be here with you. So, but thanks for having me, and I look forward. The community, come join us, be a part of us. I would love that.
Yes. Yeah, come join WT Volleyball. Come watch them play. Are y'all having the Lady Buff Classic at the beginning of September?
We are having the Lady Buff Classic, and we're having a big on the 30th of July. We're going to have the maroon white scrimmage, and I'll get you the information.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have meet the team there in the gym that day. Come up, meet me, say hi, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be invited, so hopefully we'll get you out there for that. We're going to do that, and it's just going to be a fun day of meeting the players and getting to know us.
Awesome. Everyone, mark your calendars. Volleyball season will be here before you know it. And Saturdays, Fridays, be at the box.
Yeah.
That's all for this week's episode of Catching Up with Corrin. As always, we appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you next time.